Alright, here's a sentence you weren't expecting to hear today. In 1932, Australia declared war on emus, and the emus won. That's right, one of the largest countries in the world lost a full-scale military operation to a bunch of giant flightless birds. This is the story of how a nation armed with machine guns and soldiers took on emus and walked away defeated. Let's talk about the Great Emu War. Welcome to Unusual Perusal, where we explore the stories that make you laugh, scratch your head, and say, for real? Today, we're diving into the Great Emu War, a true tale of government overreach, bird chaos, and one of history's most absurd military defeats. Let's ruffle some feathers. To understand how we got here, you need to know what was happening in Australia in 1932. World War I had ended, the Great Depression was in full swing, and thousands of veterans were trying to make a living as farmers in Western Australia. But there was a problem, or more specifically, 20,000 problems. Emus. These birds decided farmland was their personal buffet, trampling crops and wreaking havoc like feathery tanks. Desperate farmers turned to the government for help. And Australia's solution? Military intervention. Yes, actual soldiers with machine guns versus emus. What could possibly go wrong? The government deployed Major G.P.W. Meredith of the Royal Australian Artillery to lead the charge. Armed with 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammo, Meredith and his men were ready to take down the emu menace. Their plan? Drive out to the farmlands, find the birds, and well, shoot them. Simple, right? Except they underestimated one tiny detail. Emus are absolute chaos machines. The first battle took place in November 1932, and it was a disaster. The soldiers spotted a flock of 50 emus and opened fire, but the birds scattered, running faster than a sprinter on Red Bull. Turns out, emus can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, zigzagging like Olympic athletes. The soldiers, they couldn't hit a thing. One soldier even joked that the emus were bulletproof. By day 2, the military realized they weren't just fighting birds, they were fighting chaos incarnate. As the days went on, the emus started fighting back, not with weapons obviously, but with sheer stubbornness. They'd appear in massive flocks, dodge every bullet, and destroy crops faster than the soldiers could reload. By the end of the first week, the military had used over 2,500 rounds of ammo and managed to kill maybe 200 emus. The rest? They just kept running. At this point, the farmers were like, so is this working? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. After weeks of failed missions and mounting embarrassment, the government officially called off the operation. Major Meredith later admitted, if we had a division of emus in the army, they'd be unstoppable. The birds had won. The farmers were left to fend for themselves, and the government quietly pretended the whole thing never happened. But the story of the Great Emu War has lived on as one of history's most absurd defeats. Today, emus are a protected species in Australia, which feels like the ultimate troll move. But their victory in 1932 serves as a hilarious reminder. Nature doesn't care about your plans. Sometimes, the most ridiculous battles teach us the most about resilience, or in this case, how not to pick a fight with giant birds. And there you have it, the time Australia went to war with emus and lost. It's a story about desperation, hubris, and the unexpected strength of nature. If you enjoyed this wild ride through history, hit that like button, subscribe for more bizarre tales, and join us next time. Until then, stay curious, stay bold, and always keep perusing the unusual. Thanks for watching.